Thank you for tuning in to Uncommon Women, a podcast that provides a platform for women of all walks of life to share their upbringings, life lessons learned, experiences, and journeys to come. Uncommon Women speaks on topics that can relate to all women. We share, we listen, we laugh, we cry, and we empower each other to be the best uncommon woman that they can be. Ultimately, we are cultivating a global movement of women supporting women. Women supporting entrepreneurship, relationships, self-love, and so much more. We inspire each other to make an impact on this world for the better. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Uncommon Women. Now, finally, grab a seat, get comfortable, and hear from your wonderful hosts, Shanira and Jenny Lee.
Good evening, kings and queens. Thank you so much for tuning in to Uncommon Women. I'm Shanira.
And I'm Jenny Lee.
And today we have an amazing guest speaker by the name of Iomikoe, which is an international published model, advocate, actress, apparel owner, and so much more. Today she's going to be sharing her journey of having vitiligo. But before we get into her amazing story, can you tell us a little bit about yourself or any fun facts that I didn't share about yourself?
I love to paint. I love I just love making people feel really good about themselves. Like I like that. It makes me feel good when I inspire other people to live their best life.
Okay. What is something that you enjoy baking? Is it just cakes, or do you like cookies, or is it anything that you do that's extra extraordinary?
Um, Wait, about baking?
Mm-hmm. Yes, about baking.
I can bake some cookies.
What's your favorite thing to bake?
You understand? Brownies. I love
Brownies.
I'm really, really good at baking brownies.
Okay.
Brownies are good. I
love it. So, can you tell us a little bit about your life and how was everything growing up?
As a teenager, growing up, I'm from Louisiana. That's where I'm originally from. I live in Texas now, but I'm from Louisiana, so I grew up in the South. And as a young teenage girl, I never had vitiligo as a teenager. I didn't get it till I was like 25 years old. But being a teenager, just being an African American dark skinned woman, I got teased and made fun of. Boys used to throw crickets on me, tell me that I was ugly, because I was dark skinned. And so that made me like really insecure about being a dark skinned girl. It wasn't until I became a woman, an adult woman, where I began to like, they don't know what they're talking about. Chocolate is.
Come on, girl.
I was like, they don't know what they're talking about. They was little boys. And my daddy used to tell me this all the time. He used to say, they only said that because they liked you and they just didn't know how to express that. When I went to my 10-year class reunion, it was on my tip. But I got vitiligo at the age of 25. So I was like, like well in my 20s. And then one day I woke up and I had a spot underneath my eye, and then I had a spot underneath my arm. And the spot underneath my eye didn't bother me that much because I was like, maybe it's a little scab. Like sometimes you might like, I wear nails, so maybe I cut myself on my nail or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I found another spot, the one that was under my arm, and I started to be like, I wonder what this could be. I knew that I had an appointment to go to my physical doctor. Lord, I lost my train of thought. I knew to my family doctor. I knew that I had an appointment with my regular physician, like my family physician. And so I was like, whenever I get to that appointment, I'm gonna just show him kind of like, the spots. And then when I got there, he was kind of weird about it. He told me that the spot could be from me shaving. But then I was like, that doesn't make no sense because then why I got the spots in my eye? Where it came from?
Right.
And so then he was like, well, let's try not to you to shave and you to um use nails, which nails gonna come in later when I see it. But he was like, use nails. And so I was like, okay. And I used the girl, I almost burnt myself using nails. I know when I say use nails, you gotta like it's a science to using nails. So I was like, okay. Well then one day, I'm taking a shower and then I noticed that spot that was under my arm that is getting bigger. So then I'm like, okay, so this can't be what you think it is. So one of my friends, she does makeup and stuff. She told me, she said, maybe you should go see a dermatologist.
Right.
And have them look at it. And so I was like, okay, so I made an appointment, but it took me about a month to get into that appointment. But in that month's time, my vitiligo had spreaded so much. And I was like, okay, something is wrong. And I was like scared, I thought I had skin cancer. I didn't know what it could have been.
Right.
When I finally made it to the appointment, I go in like tears down my face, and I'm like, you gotta help me because I don't know what is going on. The spot is under my eyes bigger, and the one under my arm has done spread like to half of my arm. So I'm like, something is wrong. Like, what is wrong? And he was like, calm down. It's not what you think it is. I can tell you what it is right now. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And he was like, it's a skin condition called vitiligo. And I was like, vitiligo? He was like, yeah. He started telling me what vitiligo was. That vitiligo was an autoimmune disorder that causes white patches to form upon the skin because the cells that make up the color of your skin, they died. And like at that time, he was talking gibberish because like I didn't understand nothing he was saying. Then he kind of pulled out his laptop and he started showing me images of other people with the condition. And I swear he must have used the most terrifying pictures of people with the most severe cases of vitiligo. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to be a monster. And I was immediately asking him, like, okay, what can we do to get rid of it? Like, I'm just now starting to I'm in my 20s, like 25. I'm just now starting to accept the fact that I'm a dark skinned girl.
Right.
It's going and wait. So I'm not gonna be dark skinned no more. Like, what is going on? This is so crazy though. Remember as a teenager, I used to pray to be like and I guess you should watch and be careful what you pray for. Show me these images, and I was terrified. I got him I asked him a couple of questions, and I asked him, like, is there a treatment? Is there anything that I could do? He explained to me, there's no cure for vitiligo. And so I'm like, so I'm supposed to walk around like this? And he was like, yeah. He was like, you are going to have to accept the fact that you have this condition because it's going to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. And I was like, oh my God. And so he gave me a cream, a topical cream that he said slowed the progression of it down.
Okay.
But then I got home and I started doing my research and I started to see that it was a steroid cream. So I didn't want to put those kind of chemicals in my body, So I stopped taking the steroid cream. But when I stopped taking the steroid cream, my vitiligo started progressing even faster after I took using the cream. I called my mom on the way home from the dermatologist, and I'm crying, and all I'm thinking about is, like I have 4 children. By that time, I had 4 kids, and I'm married. I'm young married. Like we was married for like 5 years, and here I am. Like I'm gonna completely. My face is gonna change. Am I even gonna look the same? Am I gonna be the same person? All kinds of thoughts started going through my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, is my husband gonna find me attractive anymore? Are my kids gonna be afraid of me or ashamed of me. Like all of these things going through my mind. And my mom, she is such a godly, just amazing mom, and she, was like, get out your head. You know what I'm saying? No matter
Right.
what happens with this skin condition, you are gonna be beautiful no matter what. And it was easy for her to say because she didn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? And so I listened to what she said, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I got to figure out how to hide this. Like, this is just too much. So my friend, the one that suggested that I should go to a dermatologist, her name is Tiffany Garrison, and she was a makeup artist. She's an amazing makeup artist. And so shout out to Tiffany. Taught me how to cover my vitiligo. She told me about this medicine called, this cover up cream called Dermablend, and typically it's used to cover up tattoos. So it's a very thick consistency. So I would have to. They didn't have my exact color because I'm so dark. So
Right.
I have to like match it with a lighter color and kind of like blend it and make
Mix it.
it color. And so, and then I had to use that on top of foundation, on top of setting powder, on top of concealer, just a lot. So it literally took me like an hour and 45 minutes just to do my face, just to get it like even and where nobody can notice it. But what's crazy is I think about it right now, I think about it now, is that I spent all that time covering up my face. And so, because then it started spreading to my hands, to my feet, and to different places in my body. And so it was like, what was the point of me covering just my face? People still saw the vitiligo on my hands and everywhere in my body. And so I spent 12 years covering my vitiligo. So we just stop right there, and then y'all can ask me something else, and then we can ask. I'm gonna ask you something. But I spent 12 years covering my vitiligo until I met this amazing guy, and then we can go. Now y'all can ask some questions.
Okay. But let's go back. I do want to ask you how was that conversation with your husband at the time, being as though your skin was going to change, and then even having a conversation with your children, because you said you have 4 children at that time, correct?
Mhm.
How did that conversation take place?
With my husband, he was offshore, like on an all-rig, so he was
Okay.
going a lot. So when he came back is when I had to like break the news that I went to, and then what's crazy is now that I think about it before that, but one of my cousins, she's an older cousin, she's probably like a 4th cousin, but she had vitiligo.
Mhm.
And I used to see her cover her vitiligo. And so I think that's what made me automatically think I gotta cover up my vitiligo. Because she covered her vitiligo. And so at that time then I remembered that she had it. And so when my husband got back, I sat him down and I was like, I went to the dermatologist. They told me I have a skin condition, called vitiligo. And I was like, my skin is gonna change, and I'm gonna turn white. And he was like, "What, like Michael Jackson?" Because I don't know whatever people just think about it.
Right, that's the first thing that comes.
Yeah.
He was like Michael Jackson, and I was like, "Yeah, kind of like Michael. Yeah, like Michael Jackson." I was like, and he was like, "Okay, all right." And then he wasn't, it wasn't complicated. The conversation with him. The complicated conversation was with my children.
Right.
Explain to them, look, mommy, because they kept asking, mommy, why you have a lot of these patches, white stuff on you. Do you want to be white? And I'm like, no, no. I said, no, mommy doesn't want to be white. Mommy has a condition called vitiligo, and it is going to change mommy's skin. It's taking the color out of mommy's skin, and so mommy's might look white, but I'm still mommy, you know, like I'm not
Right.
gonna change, and nothing is gonna change about me but the color of my skin. And you know, they were just more concerned about did I want to like do I want to be a white woman or do I want to do like what's going on? And I was like, no, I don't want to be white. I want to be black, and I'm gonna always be black no matter what. I'm gonna be black. Just like then my baby daughter, she was like, well, I wanted you to you were brown like me. That's what we had in common. That's
Aw.
sad because you know. Then I'm like, but I was like, I'm still brown. Mommy still has some brown. I said, it's not guaranteed that mommy is going to be all white. I might have a little bit of white, you know, patches and stuff, but I don't know that I'm going to be all white. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see how it goes. But I was like, I don't want y'all to be, you know, ashamed of me and or feel scared of me or something if y'all don't see me without my makeup. And they were like, Mommy, no, we love you. We don't care what you look like. And so, and that went on until they are like a grown adults now. And
Mm-hmm.
they would fuss me when I used to, like, when they became teenagers and I would cover my vitiligo, they would be so mad because it took me so long to get ready. They were ready to die. Like, let's go. What? Take it so long. Let's go. You take it long. Next thing, then my daughter was like, Mama, I don't know why you feel like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Why you feel like you gotta
Cover
put
it up.
makeup on you?
Yeah.
Let's go. But it was my own insecurities within myself. And then I'm the type, like, I'm the type of person, I don't like to be questioned. You know what I'm saying? I guess is the Aquarius to me. I don't like, don't ask me no questions. Okay? Like, I'm not answering no questions. And so it got kind of aggravating when people kept saying, well, why is your hands white? Why is your feet white? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, is that contagious? And so
Mm-hmm.
it get irritating and it would make me angry. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
a person. I'm a happy person. I'm a, you know, just I go with the flow and that started to make me angry because people was just like they didn't want to take money out my hands and stuff. Like, what?
Wow.
So like, this is some magic that you can't get. Like, this is my own magic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But people just, you know, was being weird and stuff. So, you know, I felt like, you know, just not to have all these different questions. I'ma just cover it, you know. I'm just gonna
Mm.
so I can live in peace before I have to give somebody the peace.
Come on. I love that. Was there ever a
Yeah.
time in your life that you felt like resentment because, you know, being a dark skinned woman at a time, and then you will always pray, you know, you want your skin just to be a little bit lighter, and then you got this condition. Did you ever feel like it was your fault?
Yeah, that's why I told you that earlier. Like, you should be careful what you ask for because God might actually they give you what you ask for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, like now, you know, I love Black women. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love us, and I have two, you know, a caramel daughter and a dark skinned daughter, and so it's just like I was I was sad, and I felt like I was losing a part of my identity
Mm.
as an African American woman by being white, and people were confusing me my race. And so I was like, man, I shouldn't have said that. Like I should when I was a kid, you know, I should have never been thinking that. I should have been proud to be who I was. You know, they were kids. We were all kids at the time. And so that's what kids do. They wanna joke around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of mad at myself that I allowed because you know, when you deck those things out into the atmosphere, they come back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like I had broke a curse over my life, you know, over my body by saying that. And so yeah, I kind of resented like speaking that over my life.
What was your transition from, putting the makeup on for 12 years to just be like, you know what? I'm done with putting this makeup on. I'm done covering my beauty. When did the transition take place within yourself?
Girl, let me tell you, I had a divorce from my children's father. We got a divorce and everything. I'm not working out. And I had met this guy who I'm married to now.
Okay, congratulations.
Okay.
Because I literally tried to hide my vitiligo from him, right? Which I don't know how I did that because it's just on my hands. But he didn't even notice like, that it was on my hands too. He laughing now because like I didn't even notice. I guess he was like just so enamored by me.
Mm-hmm.
He was his dad, so he didn't even notice. So he would say, I would take too long to if he was coming me up to go on a date, he be like, I'm gonna come to the house like about an hour before, and I'll be like, ah. I'm like, no, don't pop up to my. And I told him, I said, don't you ever pop up to my house ever. He's like, ever. Like, so one day, he just like he popped up. Like he was like, well, I wanted to go to the store, and I was wondering if you wanted to come with me. And he was like, and I could take you get some ice cream or something afterwards. And so I was like, I never even noticed that I didn't have no makeup on. Like I was talking to him, didn't even know because when I'm home, I wouldn't wear makeup. Only I went out in public or when I was around people. My kids got to see me like this. I didn't even notice that I had makeup on. And he was like, wait, that's you? And then I was just like, that's me. Yeah. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that was on your face too. And then I was like, oh, what I'm doing. And he opened the door back and he was like, wait, so you have this on your face too? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, so you've been wearing makeup like to hide it from me? And I was like, not just the world. he was like, well, you don't have to do that. You're beautiful. He was like, actually beautiful like this, the other way. He was just like, damn, how much makeup is cool? Like, you don't want to know a lot. And then he was like, bro, it is hot outside. Like, so with all that makeup. And he was just like, I don't really think that you should cover it. And then I sat him down and I explained to him, what was going on. And I told him, look, if you want to stop dating me because of this, I understand. And he was like, girl, no, obviously, more than because I don't care about that. He was like, I just don't think that you should cover it up. But it took me a little while. Like, actually, look, he coming in the door. It took me a little, speaking of him, so it took me a little while to actually, like, be okay with it. Like, now we're going to make it. So I took baby steps. So I would go, like, around the corner to the gas station without it, or not nowhere in a big public place. That's what I was telling to one of my followers today that messaged me on Facebook and was asking me how I got to this point. I was patient with myself. I took baby. So if I didn't go into like a big public setting without makeup, but I'll go around the corner to the gas station, or I might go, to one of my friends' house without it with her family, but it wasn't like a lot of people. It was probably like people. So I kind of like took baby steps to get to that. And then one day, I had got invited to this birthday party, and I called myself that I was like, I'm gonna beat my face and I'm gonna be so bad. And I had no outfit, and I was like, so happy to go to the birthday party because my friend had invited me to this birthday party where they was gonna have all kind of people there. So, girl, when I tell you that I sweated like a racehorse, I forgot that I had makeup on, and I started wiping my face and then
Oh my goodness.
just started to unveil, right? It's like, oh my God, dude, I can't go see. And then I went go see, and it was dang near off. I had wiped it all off. And she was like, Iomikoe, that's why I told you that you don't need to wear this makeup. It is too hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what convinced me to go outside in 110-degree weather. But I thought it was. I thought I knew what I was doing. I was so protective over myself and my condition.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, the next day, I didn't wear no more makeup. I was just like, I can't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm too. It's too hot. I'm tired. And I seen a video on Facebook, and it was of Winnie Harlow.
Mm-hmm.
She was a contestant on what is it called? America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
She was telling her story, and my husband and I, we were laying in the bed, and he was like, "Look, they got a model, and she looked just like you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So we watching it, and I'm listening to her story, and it inspired me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm doing this for the wrong reason. I'm doing this. I'm not doing this because it's something that I want to do. I'm doing this because I'm trying to please everybody else but myself. And I need to worry about myself and what I feel. And so, but taking off that makeup was the most freeing thing that I possibly ever could have done for myself. It just so many demons. It was really me just taking off that makeup, like you know what I'm saying, like just fear, the fear I had of judgment from other people, like was just gone.
Mm.
And I was finally able to actually be the person that God had called me to be. And I realized that, me having vitiligo was actually a blessing. And he gave it to me for a reason. My mom used to tell me this all the time. God don't make no mistake. He do everything for a reason. And so I started to realize that it was a blessing because no lie, it saved me from a lot. And from a lot. And so letting that makeup go was probably the best thing that I ever did for myself because when I did that, the blessing started raining in and a freaking email. And I was like so excited, like somebody, they was like, we would love to tell a story. And I'm like, story. And they was like, we would like to do the vitiligo journey. And we want to document magazines. And then we want to bring you on a TV show in the UK. I'm so excited, like, you know what I'm saying? But I had the wrong idea of I'm going to be famous. Now that I think about it, I should have been like all the people that I am going to bless, all the people that I'm going to change, like sharing my story and my journey to acceptance of who I am. I had the wrong idea at the time. I was excited, my first magazine article about me. But when I did the magazine article, the people in the freaking magazine article that was commenting was so freaking ugly. And I hadn't prepared myself for that.
The type of attention.
Yeah. So my friend, I remember one of my friends was a photographer. He was like, don't read the comments.
Right.
Don't read the comments. And me, I'm excited. Don't listen. Aquarius, don't listen. And I
I'm
was
reading.
comments, and I cried like a baby because I was like, how people,
Wow.
like I'm like they don't know to get here.
Mhm.
Only me get here. You know, why did it so? What did I do wrong? Like all I'm trying to do is be myself, and people are saying the most, calling me an animal, calling me a cow, calling me a Faruka. It's just all kinds of disgusting names. Calling me a wigger. Like,
Wow.
I asked my husband, what is a wigger? And he was like, it's a white N-word.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Like, that's so. And so then I realized the next one, everything that got me, you know what I'm saying? But it really, really, really hurt me. And I realized that I had to prepare myself for that kind of attention, you know, that I needed to maybe go to counseling,
Mhm.
maybe talk to someone. And so I found a counselor, and I and started getting some help. I started talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get me through, you know, my little journey to self-acceptance. I realized that I wasn't as strong as I thought I was,
Mhm.
saying, and that I needed something. And it was the best because and then don't y'all getting down. Now I know Black people, y'all don't like to go.
Y'all need to go. Y'all need.
It's one of the most freeing, most amazing things. Just to sit down and just get that, unpack that pain out and get it out. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
baby quiet. It's one of the best feelings in the entire world. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
freeing. And so then I was like, okay, I'm good now. What they want to do, like, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, I'm strong. I'm confident now. What's popping? And so it didn't bother me anymore. Like fully now on my platforms, if I go on my lives, event, you know, like if you guys come on there, people be telling me all them things I can say.
Mhm.
Now I have a fan base. And so I have moderators. They will send you right to the block party. They don't let I don't let that affect me because nobody can tell me how to feel about me.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly.
Nobody. Nobody has the right to tell me how to feel about me. So I be like, y'all call me whatever y'all want. But one thing y'all can't say is that I'm not a baddie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't say I ain't a baddie. Y'all can say, it's like, that's all they got. It's like, I got to like, okay, what else? They don't got nothing else. That's all they got. You know, so it's just like, I just realized that people are going to be people, and it's nothing that I could do about people being people.
Right.
Yeah.
Can do is know who I am and stand strong in that.
Yeah. And I also think it's, you know, with people in society now, is because just because you're different, they think they see it as wrong, you know, and there's so many people, you know, that look so different from everyone, whether it's your skin condition or your how your body is shaped, or, you know, they're expecting people to have this perfect body and perfect skin and just the perfection in that. And we're very flawed. So they start to judge you, you know, and because they don't want to understand that when we're all flawed, we all have scars, we all have, you know, blemishes, and, you know,
Yeah,
women have children, our bodies change, you know, bodies change, you lose weight, you gain weight, you know, everyone has stretch marks, scars. And some people don't, you know, don't want to see that. They have to see everything so from a perfection on the eye, and that's not how it goes. I wish we were all perfect and we have perfect and good skin. Yeah.
You know what it is though? It's because of social media.
Yep, that too.
Instagram models, and I'm not trying to diss the Instagram models because they're beautiful. But it's all these women, like now it's a trend to get a BBL. You know, like some girls don't want to be BBL. Like they're comfortable with their pooper, whatever it's called. You know, like I'm comfortable with my little pooper. I need my pooper. You know what I'm saying? Like people demonize real bodies.
Right.
Yep.
Demonize natural. Like, and natural is beautiful. You
Yeah,
know,
it is.
it's authentic. It's real. But they demonize it, and so that's the problem.
I agree. Can you give us some myths on when people assume when it's coming to someone that has vitiligo? Can you give us some myths on it? Myths.
What you
Myths. Can you give some myths? Can you express some myths on vitiligo?
So people think that what's one of the myths? Because I did this little thing. They think that we could just bleach our skin with bleach and it's gonna be all white. Like you take away all the black with some bleach. No, man, don't use no bleach. You don't need it. There's a chemical. You can't bleach skin. So that's a myth.
Okay.
That or they say, oh, she bleached her skin. Like how did I bleach it though? Looks like that's a treatment. You can't do use no regular bleach. What else? They say it's contagious. It's not contagious. Or they say it's hereditary. In some people, it might be hereditary.
Okay.
I've seen say if you eat certain food, you can give it a vitiligo. That's not true. It's in your DNA. Have to do with you eating certain foods or putting certain things on your skin. It's just I believe vitiligo is embedded in our DNA, and then when some trauma or something happens, because vitiligo is typically triggered through stress, not for everyone, but for some people.
Okay.
And so sometimes you'll have like a big event in your life, like a big, something a big happen, and then you might get a spot.
Okay.
So people think it's contagious. You can't catch it at all. You can touch me till you blue on the face, but don't touch me though, because we got monkeypox. Don't touch me though. But you can touch me till you blue on the face, and you're not gonna get it. It's on me, not on you.
Does the sun affect your condition at all? Like anybody can get sunburned, but does it affect your condition in a worse way than just
I get severely sunburned.
Okay.
Kind of like what a Caucasian person has whenever they go out in the sun. They have to like lather in sunscreen. I have to do that. Because girl, I have big old red marks. My forehead will be red. This everything will be red. I got my first sunburn. We went to Florida, my husband and I, and to Miami, and they was like, well, on the way they were so excited because we had never been to Miami before, and they was like, let's get down at the beach. Like we took a stay for 15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes turned into a horror story for me because girl, my freaking face was on fire, and I only stayed.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Wow.
Country. And so I ain't never did that again. Like every time I go outside and I'm gonna be outside at the beach and stuff like that, I drench myself down in sunscreen. So yeah, it does affect it. And we're susceptible to skin cancer. So that's why we have to protect our skin with with sunscreen and stuff like that. We have to be careful the chemicals that we put on our skin.
Right. Okay.
Is there like you mentioned earlier about that you were taking the steroid cream? Is there any other treatment available?
Well, the FDA just approved. The FDA just approved a new medication for people with vitiligo. So I don't want it, but maybe other people who have the condition who are not yet, comfortable in their skin, maybe they can take it. But there's a new FDA medication that was just approved to be used. Slow. I don't know if it cures it or if it slows down the progression. I haven't done my research on it yet.
Okay.
I'm just not interested. I'm good like this, For those who or not, you know, because some people are very, they don't like it. Like, they want to be their original self, but I be telling them they are themselves. It's just some skin.
Right.
It's just color. You only, and people like to say that we're two colors. No, we're not. We're one. We're one color. We're losing our color. So we don't have color. So when you have no color, you know what it is. White. So that so I'm not two colors. I'm one color. I'm brown. Fuck. Here.
I like that.
I love it. I love it. Let's speak on that. What advice can you actually provide for anyone that has vitiligo or doesn't, you know, fully understand the skin condition?
You know, listen, I understand that it's a lot of stress. When you first get the condition, it's kind of traumatizing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I felt like I lost my identity. But you didn't lose your identity. You're still in there. You're still inside. You're still yourself. You know, it's just some skin. You're alive. You can go to the beach. You can love. You can live. You don't have to be confined to your skin. Like, what that song mean? And I remember, I am not my hand. I am not my hand. You are not skin. You know what I'm saying? You can still live everyday life. Like, girl, who cares what people say? Baby, if you, they be talking about Beyonce, Jeff. Beyonce is beautiful. She's one of the most beautiful Black women in the world. And they be talking about Beyonce. So I'm like, if they talk about Beyonce, what you think they're going to do? They're going to talk about you too. So, who cares? Like, go live your life. Go be the best you that you can be. Go accomplish your goals. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about people's main concern with having vitiligo and their battle is insecurity. You know, worrying about what other people have to say. You know what I'm saying? Girl, forget them people. Who are they? They're not perfect. No, the Bible says no man is perfect. But God, you know, don't worry about that. Those people, don't worry about nothing. Just go live your life and enjoy it. Life is beautiful.
Yes.
So, who is your biggest inspiration? I know we all have one. Who is yours?
My biggest inspiration, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama. I think watching her navigate through the White House as the first African American, you know, her husband was the president. What I wanted to say, I lost it. As the first lady. I mean, these people were so faithful to her. They called her angry all the time. So freaking smart and intelligent. She never. One of my favorite quotes from her is, "When they go low, we go high." You
That's
know?
right.
And that's how you gotta be. That's the mentality you gotta have, because people they gonna be people. There's nothing you can do about it. But you gotta clean yourself up. They don't try to tear you down. You gotta just get higher and higher and higher and higher until you can't no more. You know? And so I love Michelle Obama. I think she navigated through the White House and the 8 years that she did. She like my hero. You know? Like, I was like, you don't play no games.
Yeah, they definitely tried to tear her down. You know, they wanted her to be that angry Black woman.
My
She
mom,
stood her ground.
bro. She taught me how to be a strong Black woman. How to, when things get rough, she taught me how to be strong and how to navigate through life. She just taught me how to be a mother, taught me to navigate through motherhood, a mother. She's everything to me. Everything. I don't know. I'm the woman that I am because of her. So my number one hero is my mom, and then Michelle Obama.
Okay.
Mama always comes first.
Right. Mama knows best. That's awesome. So how did you get into becoming an advocate, and share some of your accomplishments that you've had? I know that you've been in magazines and
I'm going to be in a magazine in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. So yeah, go ahead and share your journey of how you became an advocate, and then express all your accomplishments that you have thus far.
I was actually in a commercial with the Latin singer Maluma for Smirnoff. I was also in a commercial for Nails, the first ever African American woman with vitiligo. So, and I'm like in so many of the ads on YouTube and stuff like that. Even got offered to be on a TV show, The Circle. I don't know if you know what The Circle.
Oh yeah, I know The Circle. My son loves that show.
To the UK to be on the show. I just didn't make it a show. I had to leave because I had an emergency. But like I've been on multiple news articles. Like, oh my God, so many. And how I did that was by just sharing my journey, being open. People contacted me and was asking me about my life and my experiences and how I grew to be this strong, confident woman. Like they wanted to know that, like, they wanted to say, how did you come to be this strong, confident woman? And I share my story like multiple times. I mean, I've been in articles in Africa, Indonesia, in like countries all over the world. And I'm so proud of myself because I worked really, really hard to get to the places I did. So when somebody tell you what you can do, and I'm 5'1", okay?
Well, come on. 5'2". Is that with heels?
You can do whatever you want to do, okay? And so you can do anything you set your mind to. I've been in movies. I'm about to be in another movie, in a horror film. And so I'm so excited, to be able to accomplish all of these goals. I'm a little TikTok superstar.
Come on.
So, I've done a lot of things.
And how does that make you feel, being at where you were and then, fast forwarding and seeing your life now? Besides feeling accomplished, but how does that make you feel inside?
It makes me feel proud. Proud that I did not let this skin define who I was. And that I went out into the world and I did everything that they said that I couldn't do. So it makes me proud, to be a Black woman just navigating through, this America, and accomplishing all of the things that I said that I was. I remember telling my husband, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And then every time I did it, he said, so, and that made me feel good, to know that I never gave up and that I'm a warrior. I never let my fear get the best of me. I rose, in the face of adversity and, and through the challenges of life, and I'm making an impact on this world. And so when I'm gone, whenever that time God decides He want to take me home, I know that I did everything that I wanted to do. And so I'll be at peace knowing that, I accomplished a lot of things that normal people probably didn't accomplish. So it makes me proud,
I love that.
Thank you so much for your story and for coming on and sharing what you've been through, where you're at now. We have a question we ask all our guest speakers. What makes you uncommon?
What makes me uncommon? The fact that I don't care. I'm uncommon. Like people, I don't worry about that. Yeah, that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get everybody's entitled to their, it's, it's, like asshole. Everybody got one. Everybody got an opinion. It's not. I don't care what you feel like I should feel like, or what you feel like I should act like, or what you feel. I don't care what you feel. And so that makes me uncomfortable because I don't get.
That part.
I like that. Yeah, that part. Yes. I love it. I love it.
You gotta
That is.
they got a TikTok. What is say? It's a what TikTok is a dang, I can't think of it. But it's like not every, it's a genre. With the little thing, it's a genre. Everybody not in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not people think. I just happen to not. A lot of people need to about what other people think, but
Right.
and they let that
Exactly.
their life.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yep.
they literally are living their life for other
people. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not. Like, girl, you gotta have your own journey.
Right.
You can't just do stuff because you see somebody. People like to follow. I'm the leader, so they follow me. You know,
Yep.
them to follow me. I set the trends. I say what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it is. The end.
It's true. You have to be like that because we live in that. We get so stuck in living in through what others say, and yeah, I love it. I love it.
And you lose yourself. You lose yourself trying to please people, and then you get to a place where you're like, "Who am I?" You know. You have to learn how to love yourself and be you, and not care what other people do.
And then you go back and you be like, "Why did I do that?" Girl, you care. Did you care so much? You care so much. I should have never did that. No, you shouldn't have. You know, and now you gotta live with the mistakes that you made. You know,
Right?
Like, because you care.
Yeah.
So, and my daddy used to tell me, he used to say, we all fall short of the glory of God. Saying nobody is nobody is perfect because sin, the sin is the sin, is the sin. No matter how you slice it, a sin is a sin. We all sin. He knew we would all sin. That's why he died on the cross for our sin. So listen, that means you don't have to be perfect. Because he knew he was going to be imperfect. Perfect man, him.
Amen.
Gonna make mistakes. You know, it's okay. Learn from them and become a better person because of your mistake.
Yes.
Find who you are. It's a mistake. Everybody's entitled to that. You know, and I think people go cancel culture. I hate that. Hate that. You know, because listen, yes, people like everybody was like trying to beat up Sauce Santana for saying the things that he had said about Beyonce's daughter and like all the, you know, but they be forgetting that these people are human beings.
Right.
They're human beings and they make mistakes. And I'm pretty sure he felt like crap behind the scenes when he had all these black women saying, "How could you?"
Right, bashing it.
To black young girl, you know, talking about her hair and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, you don't know what these people go behind the scenes.
That's true.
So eyes out listening to. He lost a lot of fans. You know what I'm saying? And that hurt. You know, the only thing that you can do is, I made a mistake. I think you should apologize, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You said you typed the tweet publicly, so you should apologize publicly.
Right.
Yeah.
And he felt like he didn't have to apologize to her. I mean, he didn't have to apologize to the world, but he gonna apologize to her. But you disrespect her publicly, so who apologized to her publicly?
Be accountable publicly, right?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
We'll tell you that, brother. We love you, you know, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? You was wrong. Be accountable, like you said. Be accountable for your actions.
Yeah. And too many people lack that nowadays, which is a shame, you know. And I think when you hold yourself accountable, that makes you a real person. That makes you
more too.
Exactly.
Yes. Like, well, if they gonna think that I'm weak because I said I'm sorry. After you saying you're sorry makes you strong.
Mm-hmm.
Saying owning up to your responsibility,
Yeah.
you're an adult.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it does. It makes you an adult, and it makes you. It makes you human. If you're trying to be like, people are not going to be able to connect to that, relate to that. I know a lot of people don't like Cardi B, because she, is outspoken and stuff like that, but she be her authentic self. That's who she is.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I prefer that I don't, but it's like you can't say anything. Like,
you can't say that she's fake because she's herself. That's just who she is.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got some people that rock with it and some people that don't. But
yeah,
that's how it is,
Yeah.
And people can relate to that because they know they're human. They make mistakes.
Right.
Everybody is perfect.
Yeah.
And that's why she has such a huge platform because people can connect to her. They feel her. She been places that a lot of people won't say they've been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the world is a scary and can be an ugly place. But you know what? There's always beauty when you actually sit down and just really look at things. There is. Well, thank you so much, Iomikoe, for your journey, for your story, for your accomplishments, and hope someone this evening would take heed to what you have experienced, what you have gone through, and thank you so much. And thank you for our followers this evening for tuning in. Shinera, do we have any comments from the audience?
No questions, just a comment seeing that kids are blessing when you were speaking about taking all long and your kids like, hurry up, mom. You ain't got to put that makeup on.
Yes.
My makeup.
Yes. Yes, kids are a blessing. And thank you again. And thank you to our followers for tuning in this evening. Make sure you check out our apparel at www.uncommonwomen.net, as well as make sure you go and check out our YouTube channel at Uncommon Women Podcast. Make sure you tune in with me next month. Instagram Live, sorry about that. Instagram Live, September 13th at 7 p.m. Central. I have an amazing lady that she's going to speak about sickle cell awareness. And again, you can check me out at Instagram Live. Her name is Uncommon 3 Women. Make sure you come check me out. As well as make sure you tune in again next week for an amazing testimony for a lady that she has conquered addiction. And make sure you tune in at 7 p.m. Central once again. And if you or anyone would love to come on our platform or especially for an awareness, if you have any awarenesses that you would love to come on, you can email us at uncommon3women@gmail.com. And as always, everyone, don't forget to stay uncommon.